Historic 4%. Let's see, Apollo 11, famous for, I think, the oldest work of art we have, and it was in Africa, found in the gorge in a cave, and about 100,000 years old. But it might be kind of a supernatural creature because if you look at it, it's not perfectly naturalistic. Then next one is Great Hall of Bulls. All right, so there's the site. It's it's naturalistic, representative, and it was in a cave in France about 15,000 years. It was charcoal and ochre, and deep, deep in the cave, and probably was used for some kind of ritual. They're not quite sure, but some kind of ritual, they think. Um, Shape of a canine. This is a bone that they turned is from a sacrum bone they turned into a animal, so it's kind of like they took a bone and transformed it into a work of art, and it might be something sacred. Oh, Tlatocal female figurine. Shoot, I forgot about this one. We'll come back to it. All right, this is head of running horned woman. Might have been one of the first human renderings, and they found it in the dry area of North Africa. These paintings and these engravings, very remote location. They think it might be symbolic, some kind of a symbol, some kind of symbolism going on there, not fashion. Ibex beaker. This is going to be Ibex beaker here. This has got it's stylized. It's an animal, but it's highly stylized. It's geometric, and the animals are stylized, the ram and the birds. Anthropomorphic stele. This is from Arabia, and probably some kind of a burial marker of some kind. Okay. Jade Kong. This one was the bi, which was the circles. Think of a bicycle, and the square, circle, square, jade, and had faces on the side. Fascinating work. Something to do with the afterlife. They think like the square is earth, and the circle is heaven, and it's like the spiritual and the physical, and maybe this is a portal out to the next world. It's a Neolithic works, which is a little more some of the early civilizations over here in by the Yellow River. That's Jade Kong, so funerary. Ambum stone out of New Guinea with gray wax stone, which is really, really hard rock. Really cool and some kind of religious object, and it's beautiful and it's cool and it's intriguing. People really like this one. Had some kind of a ritual to it, and here in the people of New Guinea. And it might have been a pestle, like you could pound stuff in it, but then it also is like a sculpture, and that's gray wax stone. Maybe an anteater, and has like a bone of ancestor. It was also a cult object used in rituals. They thought maybe the ancestors would reside in there, and this could also be like a talisman that could protect you, and fascinating one. Speaking of fascinating, Stonehenge, massive stones here, probably an early calendar on June 21st. That's where the sun is. And in England, Neolithic, there it is again, lots of pictures here, giant massive stones. Went through a couple of phases. They started to cremate and have burial bodies here. A cemetery is there, and probably some kind of calendar. All right, terracotta fragment of the Solomon Islands, back to the Pacific once again. And this pottery are these from the Lapita people, and it kind of tells us how people settled the Pacific. And Lapita had this pottery in a particular way, and wherever it is we know they were, they used a certain kind of sand. They had different kinds of patterns, geometric, even a human face. And they eventually moved to Samoa, Tonga, and then they went to the far, far extremes, Hawaii way out here, Easter Island here. And that is prehistoric. Probably multiple choice questions, usually not short writing on prehistoric because technically it's not history.